It was fascinating. I was at I think some government roundtable, and we were just plotting the numbers to understand what's really happening with the whole digital transformation opportunity. And two numbers stood out: 370 billion worldwide opportunity by 2020. That's the rough sizing of digital transformation opportunities globally by 2020. 370 billion incremental to the worldwide GDP was what is projected to add. And then came the India number, and the India number was 158 billion additional, incremental, to be added to the Indian GDP by 2021. And these are just mind-blowingly crazy numbers. These are huge numbers, but at the same time, you say, of course, that's the kind of opportunity that transformation, that digital transformation will bring. And there was this huge discussion on challenges. What's going to stop us from reaching this goal? What's going to stop India from ensuring that we achieve this $158 billion that's there on the table for us to achieve? Everyone had different points of view. There were a lot of discussion on skills, on policy, on research, on capabilities, and all of that. I had a very simple point of view. And I think if there's one showstopper for India, it really is the mindset. If there's one thing that stops us from achieving the full potential that the digital transformation opportunities offer, it's the mindset. And when I talk about mindset, I specifically talk about the mindset of partnerships, the mindset of collaboration, the mindset of co-creation, the mindset of getting into a world where you're comfortable with joint IPs and you can build a business model around it. And I think there's a lot of legacy and history in the way we get educated to how we work that doesn't make it organic for us to build those kind of, and I'm not talking partnerships in the digital world. I think the digital world, you're talking about co-creation, which is very different from the kind of partnerships that industry is used to. So it's a fascinating time, and it's amazing to see the landscape sort of changing in front of our eyes as we speak. As NASSCOM, this is the one point we want to focus on. We really want to focus on ensuring that India does not miss out on that opportunity, that big opportunity that's ahead of us, that technology brings to the table. And we do that by focusing on 3 areas. And these are this is the Bible for NASSCOM right now. These are the 3 things we will do before we do anything else. And the first is the innovation mindset. How do we work with government, with academia, with you, to build that culture of innovation in this country? How do we make co-creation a de facto method of work? My goal, my vision is that NASSCOM becomes that ultimate collaborative sandbox where government, academia, industry, startup can all come, play, and create solutions to problems that can be game-changing for India as well as for the industry. So how do we do that? How do we ensure that the regulatory framework around new technologies is not totally outdated and are somewhat they'll never keep in pace and never stay in pace with technology, but at least try and keep pace with technology. The second focus for us is skills. Skills and capabilities, not for new technologies, but for the new jobs. We obsess a lot in this country about job loss. What about all the thousands and thousands of jobs that are getting created as we speak and where we do not have skills? How do we ensure that we get the workforce, the 4 million odd workforce in India, ready for the future jobs? So that's a huge focus. How do we ensure that India not only has 10,000 startups, but India has some of the leading tech startups in the world? What has to be done to enable that? And then the third focus area for us is really working with you and government to create those new opportunities, to ensure that governments, Indian and others, are starting to deploy some of these new technologies to create the opportunities, to make that 158 billion a reality. Right? So, extremely exciting time. I think the one thing that, at least in my mind, that I'm very sure of is digital transformation is not a solo journey. That's the one thing it is not. We still trying to figure out exactly what all it is, but we know for sure that it is not a solo journey. Cannot be traveled alone by a startup or by a country. And this is where, a company, sorry. And this is where I think I give tremendous credit to the team in NASSCOM, KSV, NEMO, the whole lot of them, for creating NIPP, actually a bit ahead of its time in 2015 when co-creation was still not the buzzword, to say that we have to bring industry and startups together to create. It's a fantastic effort. In fact, it's one of the initiatives we are most proud of. And I think there's so much more that can be done now as we go forward, bringing in academia, bringing in government, building the connects not just between industry and startup, but between industry and industry. In today's world, tech has to meet domain expertise, and domain expertise has to meet tech expertise. How do we do that? How do we really connect the dots between this ecosystem to make the co-creation an absolute reality for India, and make sure that we play a small role in ensuring that India leverages that 158 billion opportunity that is there on the table in the next 3 years. So with that, again, thank you so much for the tremendous support you've given us. And we keep counting on your support as we take the next steps forward to strengthen what we have and expand the co-creation ecosystem to involve other partners. So thank you, and look forward to working with you all to make this a reality for all of us. Thank you.